Welcome to Bitcoin Technical Analysis on World Crypto Network. This is your host, Theo Goodman. Today I'm here with George and Flibber. Hi, guys. Thanks for coming on today.
Hello,
Hi, thanks.
Theo.
Excellent. Okay, Flibber, show us what charts you've got ready for us.
Cool. Okay, well, first thing I just want to give a shout out to my boys. Spider Crusher with SCMR charts here that I'm use every day. BTC VIX, still out the Hangouts, and Whale Club TeamSpeak, TradeView Chat. So I just wanted to do that. All right. So last week we got the price right. We said it was going to go down. It went down. So good stuff. Now what's going to happen? So I'm going to start off out of the daily. Daily is printing confirm reversal right now. I'm not super interested in this at the moment. I'm not particularly keen on this. I'll show you why the low time frames later. But daily Willie is pretty low. And so what's he going to do? Is he going to stay low and trend down like we did here? Or is he going to come down low, do a bit of a fake out, and then come down for that final little sell-off? I kind of like the final sell-off and dip down to this lower level and put in some higher time frame bull div. I kind of like that idea, so I'm hoping that's going to be the case. I mean, just ripping through the other time frames as well. 12-hour Willie, also kind of low and turned up. Confirm reversal, support dots printing. Like right now, even though the EMAs say the trend is down, and look at that. Look at those EMAs. Look, daily EMAs were up here at what is this? 1708. 12-hour EMAs are here. 6-hour EMAs are up here. So 4-hour EMAs, I mean, also here. 4-hour Willie also kind of high too. I mean, the thing is, we have this 4-hour bearish pivot and 4-hour Willie's kind of high. So that's saying, okay, short with a stop on the top of the thingy. Plus we're at EMA resistance. We've got 4-hour high Willie. I mean, I have him on 2-hour on this one. It's 1 hour. 1 hour's on the way down, could turn up. But anyway, so 4 hours kind of saying, yeah, the dots are saying hold long. The pivot's saying careful. And you see these smaller candles, bit dojis, bit indecision. I mean, if I jump down to the bands, I see 6-hour bands. We're kind of near the top of these too. 6-hour MACD looks good, surging. 4-hour, bit weakening, but still surging, could still surge again. Is this a bull flag? Or is this going to break down? We don't know right now. And you can see it's beginning to tighten on the 2-hour. I mean, 2-hour looks like it wants to cross down, but also 1 hour, is it recharging again for another push and tightening? Like, we are still going up. We have still made a higher high. We are still making higher lows. Are we going to push out the top and give us this final kick? This is a hard place to say right here. Like, we've rallied a lot, and we haven't really had a good sell-off. But shit, we can rally a lot more too. But I think, as they're starting to pile up on China, I think any further push-up, I think is going to see a lot of resistance, a lot of sellers, like people who are FOMOing in up here. Probably will be scared if they're FOMOing in on new highs and stuff. It's going to be freaky time up there. They're going to be probably scalping those longs. Sellers are going to be waiting to short too if it's got some bear div. So I think another push up, could be tough. I mean, I would personally like to see a sell off maybe back to this level, 1658, hold this level. I mean, or really, to be honest, on the higher time frames, I mean, look at this on the 4-hour, up, 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 up. I actually want to see another good sell-off off this 4-hour Willie right the way back down to the bottom, or at least close to the bottom. Because, I mean, basically, shorts, they got loads of room, and longs just keep going. And those fees on longs are not cheap. So, I mean, there's a short trade setup I got here running at the moment. Kind of short 270, with a stop on a close above this 270.5. We're actually 270.4 right now, really close. But not being greedy on the take profit down here. But yeah, I mean, if this breaks, do I want to go long? maybe I should, but I don't know. So overall, I just think this is a tense time. I think that's why we're getting these dojis, because there is indecision in the market. Up, a lot of resistance, obviously. Down, we know the bid support, a lot of bids down there. It's going to put in the bull div. Nobody wants to sell the bull div leg either. So, we could be in for more range tightening again, maybe. But yeah, I mean, top of the, especially Finex as well. Just zooming down the 2 hour. I mean, look, we put in this top on some volume here, but it got sold off really quite aggressively back down to this level of support. Now, this level really is going to be defended. So, especially so I mean, China's gone really nice. I mean, look at the charts on the 2 hour. Look, China's just exploded out this bottom bit and rallied up. Finex pretty lethargic. So overall, I'm leaning for a sell-off back down. I think 3-day, has crossed over. I think we're at EMA resistance. I mean, this could be the median on the 3-day. We could just start to tighten 3-day again. Overall, pretty indecisive. I mean, weekly median support just down there as well. Yes, this is a tough time right now. I mean, I'm mostly scalping, to be honest with you guys. Just because the indecision, especially at this price level that we're at as well, on the 2 hour, really kind of scalp territory. So yeah, those are my thoughts. Thank you. And you guys are both on mute. George.
I'm here.
Take us through what you've got then.
Okay. I guess Theo is on mute and not here, so I'll start. I'll start by talking a little bit about Bitcoin, but I think you overall did a fantastic job of that, so I'm not going to go too deep into things, but I'll just start off with a chart, more of a daily chart, looking at this theme that I talked about a bit last week, which was this consolidation range, which you can see here, which we've been in for the whole entire year, and we continue to be in. What's really changed since last week, I guess, is more of the fact that we finally have gone below the 200 and the 100-day exponential moving averages, and we're trying to find support somewhere in here. But, I mean, the theme really continues to be the same, which is just that we're stuck in this trading range, and, we were up at this top part for a while, testing. Top part's around 295 to 300 area. Bottom is that 215 to 220 area. And right now it's holding in between moving averages, but I think that, momentum is starting to wane a bit, and it could definitely go and test, have that final sell-off that you were talking about. But overall, like you were saying, I'm in the same camp, thinking that any type of upside breakout is going to be pretty much met with a lot of resistance, and I'm not sure that it has the ability to do that right now. So I'll just move on to some other things that I've been looking at, which have been of interest to me. We talked last week about the Shanghai, and it looked like it was bottoming, and so far it seems to be just doing just that. And I mean, there's a lot of reasons why. Obviously, the government is doing everything in their power to stimulate the economy and the stock market. We've had 2 devaluations of the yuan 2 days in a row. Had an interesting impact. I thought it would have a bigger impact on the Bitcoin market overall. I thought some of that money would shift out of yuan and perhaps go into Bitcoin. But I think what's really more interesting is this whole entire currency distortions that we're starting to see, really, and it's been caused by strong dollar and central bank pumping of money endlessly. But really, what we're seeing here is just, this is a chart I put together of the USD versus all other currencies over the last, the euro, the Swiss franc, the Aussie dollar, the British pound, the Japanese yen, and I took a yuan proxy, and as you can see over here, it's kind of fallen out of bed. But the real theme here is that the US dollar strength has been really to the detriment of all other currencies. And, I thought as a result of that, you might see some money move into Bitcoin as this other store of different type of currency, but we haven't seen much of that at all. The sentiment really has still been taken out after the Greece incident and hasn't really come back into price. So I made another chart just based on the last 10 days so you can see what happened when the U.S. dollar starts to come off a bit. So the red line is the U.S. dollar, and it's down about 1.5%. The blue line, that's all the way to the devalue to about 5%. Every other currency has kind of started to move up as a result of that. So these moves are strong very quickly. So I guess where I'm going with this is, everyone's expecting or waiting to see if the U.S. is going to raise interest rates in the next at the next Fed meeting, which is September 17th, and potentially that will lead to a stronger dollar, and how that impacts everything else is yet to be seen. But that's assuming the dollar actually strengthens as a result of that. Commodities really haven't done much of anything as a result of the dollar coming off, and generally they're negatively correlated, which has been surprising. So I put this chart together right here showing for a while Bitcoin and commodities were highly correlated and they were moving in tandem, and that's changed a lot since that June time frame when we talked about how the Shanghai shit the bed and how Greece happened, and Bitcoin still kind of held up and commodities continued their downward move. So Bitcoin is still kind of hanging in there and lurking around. It's not really in a great place, as Flibber mentioned, and really tenuous as to the next direction that it wants to move. I would be leaning towards a test of lower levels before it goes up, unless some kind of sentiment changes right now. But from a technical standpoint, it doesn't really look good to me. And again, the volume has just been anemic throughout all exchanges, and really without any volume, I don't see how it's going to move to the upside. So that's all I really have right now.
Hey, George.
And I guess we'll go back to Theo.
Hey, George.
Yeah, Flibber.
Hey.
Yeah, what I was going to say was the correlation between dollar price and Bitcoin. I mean, there is data there to say that that correlation exists, but I think there's also doubt because people are, kind of like, we need more data set. We need more time, don't we, to collect more data to have more confidence in the relationship. I mean, if dollar is going to go up, like you say, then that could be, good for down. And I think, like you say, volume has been anemic. I mean, Bitfinex, for example, absolutely disgusting. Like, how can you trade anything other than the 4-hour on there? The 5 minutes, like a flat line.
You're right, and yes, you're right about the problem. The problem is really that there isn't big enough data sets to really say that all these relationships are strong, right? I mean, because Bitcoin is only 5 years old. So we're really just trying to find patterns here of things that kind of make sense to trade off of, more than say these relationships are going to work or not work, because in a lot of cases Bitcoin trades on its own merit more than anything, and that doesn't really mean much of anything except for the fact that sometimes it correlates with things, sometimes it doesn't. But I think like you can say, just like any other currency pair, anything that's paired off against USD will suffer when USD goes higher. And one of the things that's been that I've been thinking about is if USD does go higher, and you have a lot of these leveraged Bitcoin exchanges that are using USD as their off-ramp for currency, and the price of Bitcoin starts to go down, they could get squeezed pretty bad if interest rates start to rise faster than people think as the borrowing costs go up. But that's still a ways off. I don't really anticipate interest rates going wildly out of control and the Fed raise, but they might do one, and it might cause distortions across the whole entire all asset classes, because people have just been pricing in the zero interest rate for so long, and really there is a liquidity problem in most marketplaces right now. So if things start to get a little jiggy, you could see some super volatility come back into a lot of assets that have kind of just you haven't really had. And then you have like things like China, and having to be forced to devalue. I don't think that that's going to change as far as different currencies having to do, and different countries and central banks having to really take extraordinary measures to try and offset their economic woes. So, I think that there will be pockets of volatility and really the forces of central banks fighting each other to try and stimulate their own economies, because they're facing these headwinds that are being caused by really it's been zero interest rates and free floating money for so long, and I think it's going to come home to roost at some point.
Yeah, I think so. Just what you guys were saying about the Bitcoin price, I also have a little chart, and I tend to agree right now the daily candle is inside the one-day cloud and kind of looks like a no trade zone. And these I made these lines here at the bottom where I think the next level test could be if we do drop out of that daily cloud. Also, the 26-day lagging line is well under the price, and that's also a pretty bearish signal. Unless that lagging line can really get over the price and we bust out of this daily cloud, I don't see any up for the next, I don't know, week or so at least. So I also think a test of these lower areas around 250. All right, well,
yeah, I kind of agree with you. I just don't see any reason to go up here. I mean, I think like for me for a long time I've been waiting for a test. Once we couldn't get over 300 a few times, and when we broke it and then automatically fell back down, I thought that at some point a test would be coming again. It's hard to be really super bullish here. Like Flibber was saying, I think like anytime it gets up near that level, you're just going to be really cautious.
Yeah, it's also summer. Maybe a lot of people are just on vacation, and there's not a lot of volume, so not a lot of people are paying attention. So, all right. Well, thanks a lot for coming on today, Flibber from Whale Club TeamSpeak, George from ItBit and Cointelegraph and BTC.SX. Thanks a lot, guys, for coming on today.
Thanks.
Thanks for having us on.
Be sure to check out all the links in the description. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.
Bye.